Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And if you are returning, welcome as well. Glad you are sticking around. So this is going to be the first video of my transitioning to natural hair series. I made the decision to go natural. I was natural about 8 years ago, but only for like 6 months. I didn't really know anything about it, so I didn't know how to style my hair, and I really just didn't like it. So after 6 months, I went back to the relaxer. But here recently, it's just been really, really on my mind heavily to stop using chemicals and to wear my hair the way that it was. So I think what did it for me was I noticed, so I always color my hair black, jet black, and I noticed that every time I would use the hair dye, my head would itch, and then it just occurred to me the chemical is just too strong for you. As we age, we can't do the things that we used to do. So after I realized that, then I also felt like, with everything that's going on with me health-wise, well, not everything, but I have lupus, as you guys know, if you've been following me through this, through my YouTube process. I do have lupus, and so I do have the skin condition, and I noticed that when I wasn't using the relaxer, I didn't have those problems with my skin. So when I discovered that using that hair dye was irritating me, I said, well, you know what? Maybe I should just try to get rid of chemicals altogether. And so that's when I was like, hey, I'm just gonna stop putting a relaxer on my hair. And that was just this past week when all of that just came about. So it's new. I've recently made this decision, and I'm gonna go through with it. I've been doing a lot of research. I've been talking to a lot of people, not purposely, but it all has just come together. So that lets me know that this decision is the right one. This is a vlog, so I'm going to do a lot of talking. I am due to get a relaxer in 6 days, but I am not going to get one. I have not put heat on my hair for 4 days. So it's been 4 days since I've used a flat iron or a blow dryer or anything like that. I have not put any heat on my hair. So I've been heat free for 4 days. And this is what it looks like. I mean, it's pretty straight. But I am due for a relaxer. I don't know if you can tell, if you can see, but yeah, it's getting a little coily. And then in the back, yeah, and I can feel it. I mean, it's time. Like I said, in 6 days, it'll be time, but I'm not going to do it. So, before relaxers, I had my natural hair like we all do. I didn't start getting a relaxer until my family moved from California to Louisiana. And I was around 12 years old. So I have 3 pictures that I want to show you. This is what I looked like as a little girl. The first one is going to be the 1st grade picture, then the 2nd grade picture, and the 3rd grade picture. And so you can see what my hair looked like before chemicals. So, good look. That was 1st grade, 2nd grade, and 3rd grade. So you can see the hair. I had a really good, full, healthy hair. So around this time, I want to say, or maybe a couple of years after 3rd grade, actually, we moved to Louisiana October of my 4th grade year. Yeah. So this was the last time. This is what I used to look like. So we moved to Louisiana. Louisiana's climate is so much different from California. It's very humid. It's very muggy. It's very southern. And my aunt was a hairdresser, and she was pressing her client's hair. And I don't know what made me want to do that. I don't know how it happened, but I got my hair pressed. And you use that hot comb, you put it inside of that little thing, and it's sizzling, and it's just a mess, and you're sweating, and you're scared, and you might get your ear burned, and it's just ugh. So I didn't like the process, but I liked the way that it looked afterwards. But it didn't last. Being that it was hot, being that it was muggy, and being that I perspire a lot in my head, that didn't last. So I don't know what happened, but the relaxer was introduced as an alternative. And then that's where it started. So I started getting a relaxer. I don't know how old I was. Between 10 and 12 maybe. I'm not sure. But around that time is when I started getting a relaxer, and I've had one ever since. So that's the backstory of how I started. And now here I am in my 40s. Yes, and I am not going to get another relaxer. So I'm going to take you guys with me on my journey to a healthy hair. I know the process is going to be a difficult one and a challenging one, but I know it'll be rewarding in the end. I do know that you can do it two ways. You can do the big chop it all off, or you can cut it gradually. The first time that I went natural, I had no choice. I had to, because I was wearing braids and they locked. So I had to cut all my hair out. So I did the big chop. Hated it. This time around, it's my decision. This is something that I want to do. So I'm going to try to cut it gradually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get weekly trims. I'm going to deep condition my hair twice a week. I'm going to make sure that I'm moisturizing my hair daily. I'm not going to use any heat on my hair, no flat iron, no blow dryer. And I'm going to wear a protective style, which I'm going to choose braids. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all this back, because this is how I wear it anyway. So I'm going to cut all this really low, and this too. And then all of this right here, I'm going to get it braided. I'm just going to get it braided. So I'm going to keep the same style. It's just going to be a protective style. And then we're going to see how that goes. I'm excited. I'm anxious. I'm nervous. Because I don't know what I'm going to look like. I'm not one that's like into my looks. But, however, I want to make sure that I feel comfortable in my appearance. So, we'll see. Next time you see me, I'm going to look a little different. But this is the end of this vlog. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you in a little bit.